assistant and on energy efficiency programs. So I'll start with just how we can help customers save energy on their bills in the form of our assistance programs. Um, and with that, uh, we want to thank you for joining us and spending the time to talk about some of our programs today. Um, we're going to go over just a quick agenda here. So at PSC, we start every meeting with a safety moment. So we'll start with that, and then we'll get into some good news to know. And then the program overview, it'll start with our bill assistance and the three programs that come with that, as well as some other assistance programs. And then we'll have Rosa talk about our energy efficiency programs. And then we'll end with the Q&A. So, like I mentioned at PSC, we like to start every meeting with a quick safety moment. So today's is on storm season preparedness, and it's just important when there's storms and outages in the area to be prepared for them and have a plan and create an emergency kit. It's important to download our app if you have access to do that and report power outages in your neighborhood to also check for estimated restoration times. It's important to unplug electronic equipment such as computers, TV, to prevent any like surges or burnouts. Um, and it's also important to know which natural gas appliances within your home will continue to operate if there is an outage, like the gas water heaters or your fireplaces or ovens and ranges. And some homes even have like natural gas barbecue grills or apartment complexes may have those as well too. But if you're using a generator, it's also important just to follow the manufacturer's instructions. And if you see any down power lines, to keep clear 35 feet away of any fallen utility wires. So just some good tips during storm season. Next up, we have some good news to know. If you haven't noticed already, on our website in the top right corner next to the search bar, you can filter the website in multiple languages. So if you're working with clients and they speak another language, we have some of the top speaking languages available for customers to help with their needs. Um, yeah, so some other good news to know is that PSC at this time has virtual office hours. Just due to the federal landscape, we've moved to more virtual to make it more comfortable for customers to be able to access the outreach team from the comfort of their own home whenever they need to. So every Monday, that is not a holiday or yeah, it's scheduled holiday. We do have office hours from 10 to 11 and 5:30 to 6 p.m. So if you want, we can share these links to you after the presentation, but it's a really good way for folks to get questions asked on bill assistance or energy efficiency programs via Zoom, just like we're doing here now. So um, it's another great resource. And then getting into the uh, programs here, our assistance programs for the year. First, we like to kind of start off with how they would qualify and what might they qualify for. So you can see here we have it broken down into the different counties. They're generally around the same. But for example, one person living in King County making $7,771 gross income per month would qualify for some sort of assistance. So um, we'll get into kind of like some of the other steps involved, but this chart here just shows the income guidelines for number of people in the house and the county they live in. Next up, to see if they're eligible, we have a really cool tool on our website. You can go to pse.com/discount or scan the QR code there to see if they're eligible. And they would just answer those three questions: how many people live in the home, the county they live in, and then they would enter their monthly gross income and hit submit, and it would say they're eligible or not. So um, from there, um, We do like to note too that this question comes up quite a bit, but PSE does not share any personal customer information with any entity other than local King County agencies and other CAP agencies and Washington State Department of Commerce. So if customers are hesitant to provide information, you can share this with them that we don't provide personal information to any other outside agencies. And with that, the program, once they select if they're eligible or not, it gets into three applications in one. So the first application, it's all going to qualify them for. The first one is bill discount rate. So it offers eligible customers a reduced rate on their monthly bill ranging from 5 to 45%. So, for example, if we took that one person in King County making the $7,000 a month gross, and they're right at that 7,000, they're more than likely going to get the 5% discount, and it's tier based from there. So if for some reason if their income is say $0 or they're unemployed or not making any money for the month, they would then more than likely get the 45% discount. And like I said, it goes anywhere in between based off of their monthly income. So they will receive the discount for one full year, and they will need to renew their discount a year from the date of initial application. So we do notify them on their bill that says their their discount is set to expire, and um, they would need to reapply. Generally, it's about a month before the date of the deadline. So the customers will also be able to self-attest their monthly income. So there's no documentation needed um, to apply. We don't ask for social security numbers or anything like that either. So they don't need to provide bank statements or social security awards letters or anything like that or tax returns. So by completing the discount application, like I mentioned before, the application will also um, um, submit an application for PSE help, which I'll get into on the next slide here. And there's no appointments that are needed with any of the local CAP agencies that we work with. So um, if they apply online through one of you or us, then it goes straight to our team internally, and they don't need to make an appointment. So um, to see the discount on their bill, it takes about 30 to 60 days, and that's the 30 days for the bill discount, and 60 days generally for the grant to show up on their bill. And so this kind of gets into just the second part of the application. Um, it's called PSC Help, and it's really a great grant offering. So customers who apply, they get a grant anywhere from $250 up to $1,000, just based off of that income that we mentioned briefly. Um, it's a one-time credit, so it'll show up on their bill generally between 30 to 90 days, and um, it'll just show up on their bill, and it'll say if their bill was, $100 for the month, it would just automatically credit if they got a $250 credit, and it would, cancel out their bill for the month until it ran out. So it's a really great benefit. If customers don't have access to computer or smartphone, you can refer them to an application be mailed to them by contacting our customer care number. But generally, we do process all the applications online as it should only take a few minutes to process these. Um, Depending upon the household size, we really just all we ask for is names and birth dates. Um, and then the third application that I'll go over is our past due forgiveness program. So the one application they fill out with their household names and birth dates and their income would also, if they are past due for any reason on their bill, it's more than 30 days and up to $300 with a maximum amount of $2,500. We would have them apply for the past due forgiveness as well. So it is a 12-month commitment, and we would essentially split their past due forgiveness amount into 12 monthly payments and ask them to still continue to make those payments on time. And if they commit to that, they would be eligible to have any additional past due forgiveness forgiven, if that makes sense. So um, it is this program, they would only have to enroll once every 2 years from the date of the prior enrollment. So it's another good way if you know anyone that's behind on their bills or struggling to let them know about this option as well. And this is just kind of a sample breakdown of what that past due relief plan looks like. So, for example, um, the customer had $943 past due, so it would be broken down into payments of 78.59 for the next 12 months, and any additional remaining uh, past due forgiveness would be relieved. Um, this
I'm
is just
sorry,
an
can you
ex
repeat again that? I'm so
yeah.
sorry. Thank you.
So, for example, if the customer was behind $943, um, we would split that into 12 payments, which comes out to the 78.59. And if they made those payments continually over the next 12 months, if there was any past due balance due, it would be relieved and forgiven.
Thank you.
And this next page here, it kind of just goes over briefly where the customer would see those discounts for bill discount rate. So you can see that here, this customer got a 15% a month off discount on their bill for the next 13 months. Um, and they also received a $1,000 credit from Multi-Service Center for the PSE help portion. That's the one-time grant. So, um, you know, it looks like, for example, this bill was only 74.77, so it would just subtract from that 1,000 until that $1,000 ran out, and that then that customer would have another bill due later on down the line. But as you can see there, it would help cover their bill for quite a few months by just enrolling in those programs that we talked about. Some other bill assistance programs are LIHEAP, which you may all be familiar with, but it's our low-income home energy assistance program. It's administered through 11 different community action partnership agencies that we at PSE work with throughout our service territory. This program, however, it does require an appointment to be made with the local agency, and there are some other, there's some paperwork involved in the process, but it really is there for folks that are in need of financial assistance for their heating and cooling costs. So um, it is also made available for those that are in threat of disconnection. This program too does have a little bit of a different income guidelines. So it's for folks that are at or below the 150% of the federal poverty guideline. And those grants are anywhere between the 250 to 1250. We also partner with the Salvation Army for folks that are in threat of disconnection or an urgent notice. You can have them apply to our Warm Home Fund. They will, however, need to contact the local Salvation Army for that assistance as well. And then kind of moving on to some of our energy efficiency programs, there is one other assistance program that I'll go over. We do have a quick just little slide that I'll show and ask if folks know where the typical home uses the most energy. So if anybody wants to come off mute and give a quick guess, if you think you know where the home uses the most energy. Um, Anybody like to take a guess?
Maybe with the winter heating of the water or
Yeah,
heating of the house.
that's correct. So 50% of your utility or energy usage generally goes towards the heating. I always kind of thought it was the lighting, but as you can see here, it makes up about 6%. my folks always told me to turn the lights off in the rooms as a kid if I was not in the room, but um, generally, yeah, the heating um, takes up a huge chunk of that. So with that being said, we have quite a few different programs for customers to take advantage of when it comes to making their home a little more energy efficient, from things like updating their water heater or their clothes washer, um, or their thermostat even. So this slide just kind of orchestrates what offerings we have at PSC that you may not be aware of, but even things like insulation, a heat pump, you can get anywhere between 15 to $800 off on a new heat pump. And we do have, recommended energy professionals too to help with some of the installs of these products. But yeah, and with that, the program that we generally refer to customers as an additional option if we hear that folks may need help with keeping their homes warm and improving their energy usage. It's called our Weatherization Assistance Program. So I like to kind of think of this program as like winning the lottery. There is a long wait time, generally, well, depending upon the cap agency that we work with, but you can refer folks to this program if there are um, if they're struggling to keep their homes efficient or energy efficient. Um, it is no cost and it is income eligible based. So there is a high demand, like I said, for this program. It's administered in King County, for example, through King County Housing Authority. They would just request an appointment and somebody would come out and do an audit on their home. But it is one of those things where we try to tell the customers to just be patient, get on the list, and when their time comes, they will come out to do like a full assessment of the home and see where they can make some energy efficiency upgrades at no cost to the customer. So these upgrades are worth, thousands of dollars sometimes. There is like some upfront paperwork and proof of income required, but but yeah, it is a great thing. Some of the things that we do, the work is obviously different per home, but usually we do things like increased insulation in the attic walls and floors to help reduce that heating bill, or things like sealing up air leaks or improving their ventilation and sealing up their heating ducts as well, or some minor home repairs relating to weatherization. Sometimes they get into more of like a heating system upgrade, like a full upgrade, or water heater upgrades. Or sometimes we can even go from having them get off the natural gas or oil heat to have them switch over to electric. But rarely, never this program, it doesn't cover the windows or things like solar panels, obviously, or major repairs. Um, and with that, I'll hand it over to Rosa to just talk about some of our other energy efficiency programs.
Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it's a little like low, like far away.
How about now?
The same.
The same? Okay, let me put on my other headset.
I have a question about the credit, Zach. I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah. So, because I have a lot of families who come to me and they have like, balance of 943 or $1,000.
Yep.
I have them to apply. Do you guys help them even though they have a balance?
Yes. Yeah. So if they have a balance due of say like around $900, they definitely
Yeah.
would be eligible to apply for for all three programs, the
Okay.
discount, the one-time grant, and the forgiveness if they're past due. Um, so yeah, they would be eligible.
Okay, perfect. And how do you guys, what are the guidelines or how do you guys approve the credit? I mean, it depends of if they have been behind or if they have been up to date in payments or Can you
Mm,
share that or no?
Yeah, I mean, well, I can try and answer that. I mean, we have an internal team that kind of process the applications as they come. For the one-time grant, it is administered through the local agencies, and but we work hand in hand with them to basically set those amounts that I mentioned are tier based. So, um, if they're behind on their bill, um, we would split their payments into 12 payments. And we would forgive whatever was left over. But um, I don't know if that helps answer it a little bit better, but I mean, it is,
It
yeah.
depends, right? Case by case, and you guys, I mean, but it doesn't, I mean, they don't have to be up to the daily payments in order to qualify.
Um, I'm sorry, I don't
No,
know if I,
no, no, that's fine. But you answered my question. I mean, you guys
okay.
help even though they have a balance.
Yes, yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yeah, as
thank you.
long as they are eligible to apply, I can share out these slides, but if they're, like I said, one person in King County making $7,000 or less, they would qualify.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and we have more. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Thank you,
And
Rosa.
we do have more information on our website and FAQ where our bill assistance programs are so that you can get more in-depth details of what the criteria is for our bill assistance programs. All of our customers, as long as they meet those income requirements, are eligible to apply for those three programs that Zach mentioned for bill assistance to reduce their cost immediately. It's just dependent on case by case on what customers are needing. So when they come to you and they say, "Hey, I'm behind on my bill. I'm having a hard time paying," you'll want to kind of take a look at their bill and see like how much are you behind. If it's just a couple $100, my recommendation is to sign them up for the first two programs, which is the discount and the grant. It'll take about 30 to 90 days for them to see that. So keep in mind that it's not immediate assistance. It takes that 30 to 90 days. So if they have an outstanding bill where they have that notification that they're going to shut off their electric or an urgent notice or a final notice, then that's when they want to contact the Salvation Army to get immediate assistance that same day. I believe they cover up to $600 in a grant towards the customer's account so that it doesn't get shut off. Another thing that a customer can do is call PSE and say, "Hey, I'm struggling to pay my bill. I just signed up for these assistance programs, but I heard that it's going to take 30 to 90 days. Can you please put my account on a hold?" And what that means is that our customer service department will put that customer's account on hold so that we don't take any further action on their account as far as disconnecting them until they get that assistance. They can ask, I believe, up to a 60-day hold is the maximum that they'll give them. And at least we know that they're trying to do something on their end to prevent disconnection and sign up for our programs to get that assistance. Now, the bill forgiveness one, that one's case by case. So if I have a customer that comes to me and says, "Hey, Rosa, I have $1,000 bill. I'm never going to get ahead." I sign them up for the other two programs, the discount, the grant, and then I also include the forgiveness program in that application. And what that means is that once they get approved for the discount and the grant, that grant will get applied to that $1,000 balance that they owe. So let's say they get a $500 grant from our program and they still have that past due amount of 500 because it only covered half of the 1,000 they owed. That's when the bill forgiveness comes into place, and it'll take that extra remaining $500 that we didn't cover with the grant and set it aside. We divide that $500 into 12 monthly credits. And as the customer pays their bill on time moving forward for 12 months, then that $500 that's still remaining as outstanding will be slowly forgiven every single month. A little chunk of it gets forgiven until they complete that 12-month agreement and make on-time payments moving forward. Then that extra $500 that was still remaining after the grant covered half of the $1,000 bill, it'll completely be wiped out. The bill forgiveness is not the easiest one to understand, but it's basically a way to reward our customers for a huge existing bill. If they can maintain on-time payments for 12 consecutive months moving forward, we will completely wipe out whatever they owe, if that makes sense. But they first have to be approved for the other two programs, and then we will work with them to see what is left over after the grant's been applied and enter that into a forgiveness. So hopefully that provided some clarity. But we can get more into it after. I just want to get through these next slides. That way we can open it up for more questions because I know that there's a lot to cover here. So as Zach mentioned, there is the Low Income Weatherization Assistance Program that provides all the upgrades to our customers' homes at no additional cost. That program is funded federally, partially, and then PSE funds the other half. And so for some customers, because it is partially federally funded, they may not want to apply for that program. Because one, they don't want to apply for anything that's federally funded for whatever reason, because they do ask for a lot of documentation up front and proof of income, social security number, identification. So if you have a customer that's eager about making their home more energy efficient, but don't want to go that route, then they can go through our efficiency boost program, which provides steeper rebates for those income qualified customers. So this is not like the program that Zach talked about prior to this, the low income weatherization, where they're going to get things done for free. This one, they're just rebates that we offer our customers that meet those income requirements to get steeper rebates. So if they're like, no, I don't want to apply for that federal program, but I do want to improve my insulation in my house because I know that it's outdated and that's the reason why my house is so cold and my bills are so high. Just for example, right now, PSE has some of the steepest rebates for installation, up to 95% of the cost is covered. I just had them come to my house. They did an assessment. It was going to cost me $12,000 out of pocket had I did it on my own, but because of PSE's rebate, I only had to pay the 5% of that cost. Now, my house didn't qualify because your home does need to be 1990 and older to be able to qualify for the installation rebate. So that's just an example of one rebate there, but we have so many rebates for a lot of different things. So anytime that you're working on a project in your home, always call us first to see if we have a rebate available. The number that you see there, PSE Energy Advisor, those guys are our experts. They know everything about PSE's programs and all the rebates that we have available. They'll also refer you to trusted contractors that we work with so that you don't have to go out and seek someone that you're not sure if they might be legit or not, which we do hear a lot of customers get taken advantage of. So we always tell them, call our energy advisors first, ask them for a list of referrals for contractors, because those contractors, we vetted them, we worked with them year in, year out. They know everything about our rebates and we'll have those rebates available for you up front so that you don't have to submit paperwork later on and try to figure all that out. We take care of all of it for you up front. And then you can just go to our efficiency booth website, and that's where you'll find out more of the different types of rebates. We have rebates for windows. Again, I mentioned the installation one. If you're thinking about upgrading your heating system, we have amazing rebates for that. Washers and dryers. It's just thinking about all those things in your home to help you in the long run reduce costs. So if you're thinking about making some upgrades with like your water heater and things like that, those appliances, those are the ones that pull the majority of your electric. So it's like if you're thinking about upgrading those and making them more energy efficient, then come to us first and inquire about rebates before you just go to Home Depot and make a purchase, because we always have something available for our customers. Go ahead and switch. And just to give you another example, on our marketplace, we have a special store just for our customers. It's called Marketplace. Here you will find discounts like these smart thermostats. Usually they retail for about $200 to about $250, depending on the model. Right now, for our income qualified customers, you can get these at $1 and tax, which is like $1.08. It'll be directly shipped to your home. You have to install it. We don't do the installation part. Very easy to figure out if depending on what model you have at home. So you do have to do a little bit of research to figure out which one's going to be compatible to what you currently have now. Once you figure that out, then you can place your order. It gets shipped to you and then you do the installation. All you have to do is look up the model on YouTube and they'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to install it. Super, super easy. Another special offer that we're currently promoting for anyone that has an electric vehicle and is a homeowner and is thinking about having an EV charger at their home to charge at their convenience. We are offering these at $1 as well, and taxes, of course. Normally they sell for $5.99 on our marketplace, but you can get it for $1. It'll get shipped to you. Unfortunately, PSE doesn't pay for the installation part, so that is something that you will have to pay out of pocket for, but we do have contractors that we work with that do this work with us that we trust, that we would highly recommend to our customers to go through. So that's just another example of a special offer that we have as well. So if you go to our marketplace, you'll see other things that are on there as well. All right, last program. I know it's a lot of information. This one is a very popular program. However, not the easiest to sign up for, but I still want to bring it to your attention because it is another way for customers to stack more discounts on their bill. So aside from the bill assistance, this is another way for them to earn more dollars back and reduce their cost. So it's PSE Flex. It's a demand response program. And the way that I look at it is this program was designed to alert our customers when there is high consumption, meaning our grid is struggling a little bit to do what it needs to do. And it's usually related to weather, when it's really cold or really hot. And what we do is we notify our customers when we're going to have a flex event. Like, for example, there was one yesterday morning from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I got the alert. It said, hey, customer, PSE is having a flex event tomorrow between the hours of 8 and 10 a.m. We want you to try to reduce your consumption during that period because we see that there's going to be a lot of use because of the weather. It's really cold outside. Everyone's waking up, heating their homes, cooking breakfast, TVs are on. Whatever you're doing in the morning, there's a lot going on. And so in order to keep our grid stable and from preventing a blackout, we ask our customers to reduce their consumption. And that means little things. Unplug those small electronics that you're not using. Take those chargers out of your electric sockets. Turn off lights in rooms that you're not in. Maybe have one TV on versus like two. Don't do your laundry during that time. Wait till after or do it before. Don't use your dishwasher. So thinking of those little things that could help you reduce costs during that time frame. If you participate in those events, PSE rewards our customers in return. So we give you $1 for every kilowatt hour that you reduce during those flex events. Yesterday, we had one in the morning from 8 to 10, and then we had one in the evening from 6 to 10 p.m. So my husband and I were like, you know what? Let's cook dinner before 6 p.m. so that we're not using our stove during that time frame. And then I did laundry during the day versus like in the morning and in the evening, just to avoid, pulling more energy during that time and to keep our grid reliable. Go ahead and switch over, Zach. And then these events happen in the summer from May to September. And then in the winter months, they start in November up until March. And then they occur between 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. usually, and they last for about 2 to 4 hours each. We have about 15 events per season. We try to avoid all major holidays because obviously we don't want to interrupt your Thanksgiving dinner and tell you that you have to conserve energy, when you're trying to cook a big dinner for a family. And then also on the weekends, we try not to have them on the weekends as well. We always send notifications the day before to our customers so that you can prepare for the following day to know, like you'll know it's going to be between 8 and 10 a.m. So you're thinking, okay, in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And so you kind of you're preparing yourself. Go ahead, Zach, switch over. And then we have different tiers for the Flex Rewards program. Every customer should be signed up for Flex Events, which is the gray box on the bottom. You're not receiving any incentives. You're basically just getting notified in some format, whether if it's through text or email, depending on what you have with PSE as your form of communication. You've probably received some sort of alert, but you're not actually getting incentivized. We're just alerting you to tell you that, hey, there's an event happening tomorrow. But if you want to take it up a notch and start earning those dollars, then the next program that you'll want to sign up for is the Flex Rewards. So again, I mentioned earlier, it's not the easiest program to sign up for because you have to have an online My PSE account. That means either download the app to your phone or go straight to our website, search for Flex Rewards, and it's going to ask you to log in. But from there, you can create an online account to get set up. You'll need to create that username, password. Once you're in there, you're going to look for the Flex Saver tile. Click on that and it'll take you straight to these programs here that you see. You'll want to sign up for Flex Rewards. Signing up, you get a $25 digital gift card that will be sent to you within 4 to 6 weeks. Every year thereafter, you get another digital gift card for staying in the program of $15. And then you start earning those dollars. And those dollars come back to you right now. Unfortunately, they're rewarded in the form of a gift card. However, we've been told that possibly in April, these rewards, instead of being rewarded in gift cards, are going to be rewarded as credits to our customers' bills. So customers are going to start seeing that with, the discount that they're receiving, plus the grant that they've received, and now they're going to have these dollars rewarded back to them on their bill. For some families, that could be like a huge thing. Just seeing those things stacked. So if you can get them signed up for this program, I highly, highly recommend that you take those additional steps to help them create an online account if they don't have one, so that they can get signed up for this program as well. If you own a Flex Smart device, you can also enroll those thermostats into this program. And basically the way that it works with our smart thermostats, when there is a Flex event, what PSC does automatically for our customers is takes that thermostat down 2 notches is what I've noticed in the winter months. Like yesterday evening when we had the Flex event, I noticed that our thermostat went from 70 to 68. We didn't do that. PSE automatically does it for us. That's just their way of like helping us conserve some energy by dropping down our thermostats. By all means, it doesn't mean that you are being forced to stay at that temperature that we dropped it down for you automatically. You can at any time go back to your thermostat and adjust it back to your comfort level. But if you decide to participate, we drop it down for you, and then we turn it back up to your normal temperature after the event has happened. It's just one less thing for you to have to remember to do, right? But you do get that $50 incentive for each device that you enroll, and in that additional $20 per device per season. And then if you have a if you have an electric vehicle, you can enroll that. And if you have a electric charger at your home, you can also enroll that to receive incentives. So there's all kinds of ways that you can take advantage of the Flex program. But the most common one is the Flex Rewards. That's where we see most of our customers enroll into. And next slide. How do you sign up? Straight on our website, the website link that you see there. And I've given Carolina the presentation. I'm also happy to send step-by-step guide on how to sign up for the bill assistance programs online so that you have those details. If you've never gone in to apply for yourself, but you want to help, families that you engage with, it's good to know those steps so that you're familiar with them, so that when you do help families, you kind of know the process and you know what's going to be needed from them. These are not federally funded programs. Our bill assistance programs are funded by our customers. So that's one thing that I wanted to call out, because we do work with a lot of immigrant families, and a lot of them are trying to establish citizenship. A lot of them have refugee status or asylum status. Something's going on where they just don't feel comfortable providing all that extra additional documentation. And so we don't need that for our application. Now, if you go seek federal programs from your local agency, which in King County is Hope Lincoln Multi-Service Center, they're going to ask you for everything up front, because they're not only helping you with PSC programs, but they're also trying to see if you qualify for some of the federal programs. So if you have a customer that's like adamant about not applying for anything federal right now, then at least you know that you have the option to go directly to PSC's website and submit applications for our bill assistance programs and not federal. So hopefully that makes sense. So there's no need for your family to go to a local agency for federal programs if they're not interested or don't qualify. You can apply for our programs on our website directly. And so this is my information and Zach's information. At any given time, if you guys have any questions, if you're helping a family and you're kind of lost, don't know how to help them or what's the best scenario for them, feel free to reach out to us. We are more than happy to help you guys with anything, any questions, any issues that you run into during the application process. Or if you want to jump on a Monday Zoom call with us to ask questions or bring customers with you to those Zoom hours, we can help them sign up on the spot virtually as well. What we do is we break out in sessions with each customer so that we're not sharing their personal information with anyone else that's on Zoom. And then we help them get set up for the programs. And now I'll go ahead and leave it open for any questions, last 15 minutes.
Thank you, Rosa and Zach. Let me check the chat because I think people have some questions in the chat. I know, Rosa, that you answered some. Thank you.
Yeah, and I talk fast, so
Yeah, likewise.
I'm fast and I like to share a lot of details because I want you guys to be informed and not leave here like, oh, what was she talking about? So I really like to dive into the little details of things.
You say there is no legal status or requirement for the programs, right?
Right. So it's not a public charge for our programs, the bill assistance, because they're not government funded. Our programs, again, are funded by our customers. So when our customers pay their bill for PSE, a small percentage of that goes to fund these bill assistance programs. So it's like our customers are paying themselves back in a way. And that's why we don't ask for proof of income. We don't ask for identification. We do ask for the last four of the Social Security number on the application, but just a little side note for you guys. You don't have to put that in. As a matter of fact, I don't even ask for it when I'm helping a customer fill out the application. I automatically put 4 zeros in that box. Something still needs to be in there. But if you have a family that's just like, I don't even want to provide the last 4 digits, then you at least know that 4 zeros will suffice. And it's not going to flag the application. We're still gonna process it with that information as is.
One question is, do you have flyers in Spanish and English about this presentation or the programs that you have?
I do have a presentation in Spanish and I do have flyers in a variety of different languages. I can send those over to you in a zip folder and then you can share them accordingly to everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Zach can provide one for his area in the languages, a zip
Yep.
folder because it's a lot. And then we also have the Flex program in other languages as well. So we'll get you guys everything that we talked about, whatever we have in PDF format, and then in the PowerPoint presentation, we'll send over to you guys so that you have. Another thing to keep in mind is, I don't know what organizations you work for or how you work with families, but Zach and I, we are outreach managers that come into community to serve our customers. So if you have a group of people that you might want to get together and have a presentation done for where we talk about these bill assistance programs, we will bring lunch, we will bring dinner, whatever we will present to them. And then immediately afterwards, following the workshop, we will get them signed up for our programs on the spot. And we provide in language support. I speak Spanish. A lot of my other partners speak Spanish. But if there's a specific language audience that you work with, whether if it's Arabic, Somalian, whatever, we have interpreters that will come with us to make sure that we can make sure that our families are understanding what we're talking about in regards to our programs and helping them get signed up afterwards. So it's a service that we provide. It's that direct sign up workshop kind of style just to help our customers get signed up.
Thank you. Another question is, a family already got the benefits. How long do they have to wait until they're able to apply it again?
It kind of depends. So October 1st is the year. We consider October 1st the start of the funding for our programs. So for the grants specifically. So for example, if someone goes into our website today and they apply, they may see the discount next month. The discount usually takes about 30 days, but if they don't see it, because we're kind of already towards the end of the month, so there's a likelihood that they will not see that discount probably until March. So I always tell them keep an eye on your bill because the minute you see that discount reflect, that is when your year starts. So that means a year from that date, that month that you see that discount is when you'll want to renew the discount and the grant. But sometimes the grant you can renew early. So if someone applies today and they get that discount in March, then the grant will follow shortly after, up to 90 days it can take to reflect on the customer's bill. But because they're getting the grant before October 1st, that means when October 1st rolls around, the customer can reapply at least for the grant. The discount not, because it won't expire till next year in March. Does that make sense? And so every year, October 1st is when they'll be able to renew that grant, or they can wait till March and renew both of them at the same time. But if you have a customer where they really struggle in the winter and they don't want to wait to renew that grant when their discount expires in March, then you can at least renew the grant for them starting October 1st. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
It's a lot of, I know it's a lot of information, but again, Zach and I are here as a resource.
Yeah.
Message us anytime with questions. I usually respond the same day or the next day, and more than happy to answer any of your questions. Email's the best way to get a hold of us because we're always out in the field. So
I have another question. Can rebates be retroactively applied to recent work if the family already did the work at the house? Is the rebate can be?
yeah, so I would contact an energy advisor, let them know what you've just purchased. I believe as long as it hasn't been more than 2 years, then we can give them a rebate that we have in place right now.
Another question, is the Flex program from everyone or is there an income requirement as well?
No income requirement for Flex. That one applies to all of our customers. And it's only electric customers. So if you have a family that maybe has Tacoma Electric for their electricity, but they have gas with PSE, they won't be able to sign up for the Flex rewards because we're trying to conserve electric use, not gas use. So it has to be a customer that has electric service through Puget Sound Energy to qualify for Flex rewards, but there are no income requirements and there's no cost to sign up. If anything, you're just being rewarded for participating in those events, whether if you want to or not. You know, you're going to get rewarded if you participate, and if you don't, no big deal. You don't have to participate. You just won't get those rewards. That's all. Those dollars back.
One person asked, how do I request a workshop in Spanish in Fall City?
That is my area. I'm more than happy to come out to Fall City anytime that you want. If you want to take down my email address, please email me directly, and then we can work with each other to set up a day and time that best meets the needs of your family so that we can bring a workshop to them in language.
Thank you. Let me see if anyone has their hands or any question. I don't see everyone, so I have to go through my screen. Or if you have any question, we have like 5 minutes.
Yeah, just had a quick question about the Lehigh funding and Warm Home funds. Just wanted to ask how often they're replenished. Sometimes I've heard customers say that they've called asking for help.
Yeah.
They've been told that the funding is out. So is that like a monthly thing or?
That one is a little tricky because their funding is not funded by like our programs are customers, right? Whereas their money comes from the government. And because of everything that's going on with the administration right now, a lot of federal funding has been cut. And so I know that last year they were like unsure if they were going to even receive further funding for LIHEAP. It looks like Multi-Service Center just received theirs, I want to say a month ago or so, so their appointments are open. It's just so hard to get an appointment in there, like for King County. Multi-Service Center covers all of South King County. HopeLink covers East King County. And then we have Bird Bard Place for like Seattle residents. But I always hear from our customers in South King that it is so hard to get an appointment and they keep calling and calling and calling. And sometimes they just give up because they just can't get that appointment. And it's not because they don't have enough capacity, it's they are inundated with people that are seeking that assistance for our programs, for the federal programs. But at least you know that if they don't want the federal programs, you can help them with our programs directly through our website so that they don't have to worry about trying to get that appointment. And if they want to seek federal programs later on, then they can make the appointment for another, for another time, but at least help them with PSE stuff right away versus like the federal stuff, if they can't get in right away.
Just a quick follow-up. I'm sorry.
So every October 1st is when usually their funding starts for LifeHeap. And based on when the government releases it. So it's kind of hard to say when they're going to get it. And sometimes they don't take appointments until that funding is available for them. So it's kind of hard to give you but I know that October 1st is usually when they restart funding and when government releases the funds to them. But again, it's been delayed this year. So I don't know moving forward if that's going to continue or what's happening with that program.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another other questions?
Zach's email address.
Yeah.
I can put it in, Zach, for you.
Okay, thank you.
And they requesting the step-by-step that you mentioned. If you can send it to me, I can forward to everyone the step-by-step guidelines.
Yeah, I will. I like to do a train the trainer where I walk customers through an actual application by using my personal account and kind of guiding you through the steps. But for the sake of time, obviously we didn't do that today. But I do have a guide that walks you. I have it in Spanish and in English where it takes you step by step through each section of the application and how to fill it out. And then I make those call outs on that deck where it tells you, like, when you get to the Social Security part, don't enter the last four if your customer isn't comfortable, put 4 zeros in there. So there's little things that I call out in there so that when you get to those sections, because we do have a lot of families that even those last 4 digits are like, I don't want to provide that. And so for whatever reason, it's not my place to question them. And then I just put 4 zeros in there. I don't even ask for it. Just put 4 zeros automatically.
Yep.
Thank you so much. A reminder, this afternoon is a 4 p.m. presentation. It's the same presentation as of right now. If you want to forward to any other staff that you have, that you think they can help more families, please forward or just send me an email and I can send directly to another staff or organization if they need. But it's going to be the same presentation at 4 p.m.
Yeah, and I'll present on bill assistance, and then Zach will present on energy efficiency because I have to head over to Issaquah for a in-person workshop to help a little over 50 families sign up in Spanish with another organization. So, yeah, again, just feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you have. If something comes up after this and you're like, oh my gosh, I should have asked this, or once you review the PowerPoint or some of the documentation that we send over and a question just, pops up in your head, feel free to email us and let us know. And whatever way that we can help you work directly with your customers, we're more than happy to accommodate any suggestions that you have. We always, if you need childcare, we can help fund that. If you want us to provide food for your families while they're there during the workshop, we're happy to fund that. Interpreters, we're happy to fund that. So basically, PSE will make sure that we take care of everything so that as an organization, you don't have to worry about how you're going to fund that to help accommodate your families while they're there at the workshop. We want to support you in whatever way we can to get these resources out to your families.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome.
it's a time. If you, like Rosa said, you have any questions, send it directly to her, to me. And when she send me the step-by-step, I will forward to everyone and here and in the call. And thank you, Rosa and Zach, for all the information.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And thank you all of you that have been here 1 hour with us. So I will let you go and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a good
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.